Ah, yes, Wasted World of Sports, ahoy! Happy Monday. Easter Monday, the long weekend is coming to a close, and what a way to bring it to a close if we get this multi up. I've had 6 legs over the course of the entire weekend, and it all comes down to this. It all comes down to the Parramatta Eels, and it all comes down to them defeating the West Tigers by 13 plus. You can see down the bottom there, we've got check, 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 and we have just one more check to go, and everything is looking sweet, because you would have to anticipate that they're going to win by 13 plus. You would think. I also need to update my same game multi. It's still on the Shark Storm game, so we need to go ahead and update that, because I've got another same game multi just for a bit of a laugh sitting on this one, and that is anytime try scorers. We have Isaiah Papali'i, Clint Gutherson, Reid Marnie, and Mitch Moses. Anytime try scorers. And that'll be a nice little bonus on top of the all-weekend multi that we have going on. So, well, Fopsy says Eels by 12. You know what? I've never been so nervous going into a game before. I was very nervous last night. Obviously, I was at a friend's birthday party last night. I couldn't do any live streams of the game, the games that were on, but I was watching. And that Dragons Knights game, I cannot begin to describe to you how nervous I was watching that game as the Dragons went out by 8, and then the Knights pulled them straight back, and we were all square with about 7 minutes to go or something like that. And and then when the Dragons got the drop goal, they went ahead. That was sweet. And then they scored a try, and I thought, yes, that's it. It's all over. But then, of course, he missed the conversion. Missing the conversion had the Knights still in the game. Even with 30 seconds left, the Knights were still in the game. I was not safe. My multi was not safe. Such sweet relief when they held on and the Dragons got away. They got away and escaped with a victory there, because that was one particular leg that I was very, very nervous about. But I had to include it because it boosted the odds. If I had have left that Dragons game out, it wouldn't have been as much of a risk. Therefore, you don't get as much of a reward. So it wasn't really worth my time throwing down if I left the Dragons game out. But I picked the Dragons with very little confidence, and the way that that game played out kind of justifies the fact that I had very little confidence. But I'm very nervous about this game, because you have to feel like the Tigers are not going to be as crap as they've been going forever. Yet you would have to think, like, every team has a good game every now and then, at least. Nobody just sucks for 80 minutes all season. What are the odds that these sons of bitches decide today is the day? And of course, Parramatta, I know that I've got quite a few Para supporters following on Wasted World of Sports on some of the channels. Parramatta, let's be honest, they're prone to a brain fart or two over the course of a season. They're very well known for dropping a few games that they're expected to win, which kind of makes their run towards the top 4 slightly more difficult. There's Sterlo. Hey, Sterlo. Looks very confused. Like, hang on, am I standing in the correct spot? I'm not sure if I'm actually meant to be here or not. Well, Sterlo, you are indeed meant to be there. You are a true legend. Not just of Parramatta, but of the sport in general. To Sterlo. Just the sport in general, of course, playing, broadcasting. A great mind for the game, Peter Sterling. So I can tell you that I am not counting any chickens just yet. We need Parramatta by 13 plus. that will sign, seal, deliver a very, very successful multi over the duration of this Easter long weekend. Oh, and everyone knows my disdain for Parramatta, so I feel like they could lose this game just to screw with me. Or, as Vopsy said earlier, maybe they win by like 12 points or something. Can you imagine if they won? Can you imagine if they won by 12? I reckon I'm going to take real stock of what's happening at halftime, and I will seriously consider cashing out. I almost cashed out a couple of times last night, but I let it ride. And that was a pretty solid start for the Tigers, must be said. They got through, they got a completion. You can't ask for too much more to start the game. Just a solid set of six, get the kick away, a good chase on the kick, and now the Eels are starting deep in their own territory. Dragged backwards in defence. They could very well be up for this. But of course, and that's been stripped out. That should be a penalty, and it is. He's not happy about it, old mate. Oh, speaking of which, so that I'm not calling people old mate all night, I do need to open up my NRL screen so that I get some actual player names up for the guys that I don't know. That way, I'm not just calling everybody old mate for the rest of the stream. Robert M says, I've got a feeling the first try scorer could be Isaiah Papali'i. Well, that'll be good for my same game multi. Papali'i to score a try anytime. I won't say no to that. I don't care if it's first or last or... Trevor Daly, bloody Warriors, balls it up like usual. Well, that's good for me. Yes, as you say, my multi is still alive because I needed the Roosters to defeat the Warriors, and they did. Short to Campbell Gillard, and fifth and last here, Parramatta. They're only a couple of metres out. What can they come up with? Dylan Brown kicks in, just looking for a repeat set. Gets it. Solid start here from Parramatta as well. So both teams got through their first set of six, first proper set of six. A piggyback penalty for Parramatta. And they get the first set repeat of the game. Daine Laurie had no option but to knock that one over the dead ball line. Well, he did. He could have picked it up and tried to get back into the field of play, but it would have been a very low percentage option. But it's an option nonetheless. That is a huge dropout, and I'll tell you what, he has dropped that out from beyond the try line. I don't think you're allowed to do that, and I don't understand why that wasn't pulled up. Probably should have been a penalty to Parramatta right in front of the post. But they're going to have an attacking kick at the end of this set because it's tackle 3 and they're 30 metres out. It's pretty painful that a lot of... Marnie out of dummy half. Centimetres short. Centimetres short. Fifth and last. Moses was looking for the post, but they will get the set repeat, and this is relentless to start with for Parramatta. It's interesting that this weekend, as far as the tipping goes, this weekend got bollocksed up by Canberra. Just another reason why I hate Canberra so much. They went and ballsed up my perfect round. Another dropout, and I think he was told to stay within his side of the try line this time. And that one didn't get anywhere near as much distance. As a consequence, he was probably too worried about stepping over the line. Third tackle now, Eels. Hot on the attack. I'll tell you what, though. What a lift for the Tigers if they hold on here. Gufferson cut our ball, and it is dropped cold by Will Penisini. And Will Penisini totally penised that up. And as I was just saying, if the Tigers hold on here, that's got to be a confidence boost for them. And that is a confidence boost for the Tigers. They've held on. Just an onslaught for 6 minutes. And they come away 0-0. This might be... I tell you what, when I do streams of Origin, it's going to be pretty intense. But I'm feeling like this game right now, I should feel so comfortable. All I need for the rest of this multi is 13 plus. Win to Parramatta. 4th on the ladder versus last. It should be easy. I should be so relaxed. But I'm so nervous. They're just holding on here, the Tigers. You get that impression. The Tigers haven't looked threatening at all, but... And another piggyback penalty here for Parramatta, and that's going to help them out a lot. The Tigers, if they want to stay in this contest, and we're hoping that they don't, of course, but they're going to have to stop doing that. Just gifting Parramatta territory and opportunity. Oh, there's 2 games on next Monday. What have we got coming up next week, actually? What's coming up? Round 7 that could be appealing to me. Well, Thursday night's going to be a great one. The Sharks at home against the Sea Eagles. I wasn't confident about the Sharks beating the Sea Eagles at the start of the season, but I feel like they might do that. At home, PointsBet Stadium, I feel like the Sharks are travelling well enough to actually trouble the Sea Eagles this year. Then Friday, Broncos Bulldogs. Inside ball here. And they've made another mess of it. Who's dropped it this time? And the Tigers are just holding on. Just holding on. Friday night footy, 22nd of April. We've got the Broncos Bulldogs. I'll probably watch that one. Why not? We'll probably get Michelle in on that one as well. Her Broncos against the Bulldogs. I'll be going for the Bulldogs just to be on the opposite side of her. And, of course, I've got that big tip, that big multi from the start of the season where I've tried to predict the top 8, and I just had the Bulldogs sneaking into the 8. So I need them to start winning footy games. Nice cut-out ball there from Leilua, and not enough space. Not enough space on the outside. Shut down and taken into touch. Saturday is my birthday party, so I won't be doing any streams, and that's good because we're not missing much. Because Saturday, the 23rd of April, Cowboys, Titans, Tigers, Rabbitohs. So we're not really missing too much there on Saturday. And then back on Sunday with the Knights, Eels, Panthers, Canberra. And then Monday, Dragons, Roosters, Storm, Warriors. So that's what we've got coming up next weekend. But staying back to this game now. Back to this game. Next round, there's a couple of games there next round I think are a bit 50-50, but we'll see. We'll see. Like I'm tipping the Sharks to beat Manly. I think that'll be a close game though. I tip them with no real certainty or confidence. It'll be interesting to see how the Sharks bounce back after been in the game against the Storm for long periods of time. But honestly, Leilua for first try scorer. Leilua first try scorer. Who had it? Who had Leilua for first try scorer? And the Tigers are going to make this as nerve-wracking as possible for me, aren't they? They are going to make this as awkward as possible. They've held on to all that defense. Now, they've got his jersey. They're trying to rip his clothes off like they're about to ravage him. He's down. He rolls. Okay, he's touched the ground. He's rolled. He's rolled. No try. Double movement. That's got to be a double movement. He has physically rolled. He's allowed to reach out. But I think he has propelled himself forward. Is he allowed to roll and reach out? Wow. It's going to be called a try. I would have called that a double movement, but I might be a little biased today. I might have a little bit of bias because I want my multi to win, and this is not a good start. I don't think they can keep it up for 80 minutes, though. I'm going to keep an eye on my cash out value as well, to be perfectly honest. Let's just keep an eye on the cash out value. Because if this starts to go downhill fast, give the Tigers another 10 minutes. I don't think they can keep this up the whole game, as I said. But whether or not they could give it 50 or 60 minutes, if they give it 50 or 60 minutes, it could make it a very interesting last 20. A very nervous last 20 for me. And I tell you what, if they screw this up for me, the Eels, then talk about hating them more than I already do. If they go and bollocks this up for me. Look, that's no try for me. That's a double movement every day. It was not momentum in the tackle. He rolled. And he was held. He was held by the jersey. And he's rolled over and reached out. He's entitled to reach out if his ball-carrying arm doesn't hit the ground. He's entitled to reach out. But his ball-carrying arm hit the ground. He was held onto at the time that happened. And from the time that happened, he rolled and planted the ball over the line. That, to me, is a double movement every day of the week. There's no difference to rolling over. I've just punched myself in the face as I've been explaining this. He's rolled. There's no difference between rolling and propelling yourself forward, lunging. It's still another movement towards the try line, and it shouldn't be allowed. But anyways, it's on the board. They withstood all that pressure at the start of the game. They just held on for 13 minutes. Took everything that was being thrown at them, and Parramatta just kept dropping the ball. And then one shot. They got one shot down the Eels' end, and Leilua didn't need another invitation, although he took it anyway, because I think that was a double movement. So therefore, he did take two opportunities. Did that make sense, right? It's a horrible statement if you need to explain it. And another penalty here for Parramatta. Look, despite that try, the Tigers getting the first try, despite all that, it's been all Parramatta. And that was a very individual effort, a very individual moment by Leilua and nobody else. It wasn't like it was good play by the Tigers. It was all Leilua. It wasn't like a set play that they just tore the Eels' defense apart. It was just a very, very big guy making a very big bulldozing run, as he has a tendency to do. Here they come now, the Eels, trying to strike back. But it was shut down nicely there by the Tigers. Nobody fell for the dummy cutout pass. But again, more pressure. All the territory, all the pressure has been down this end. Yet, it's the Tigers that lead 6-0. But for how long? They have numbers here. They just can't get it out wide. Just shut down by Maumalo. Fifth and last. Plugs this one into Gufferson, who scores under the posts. Screenshot this moment, because outside of today, I'm sure you will never see me cheering on and supporting Parramatta ever again. So enjoy this while it lasts. They're back in the game. As long as Gufferson's onside, that's a try. And let's have a look. Let's confirm that he's onside. And he is, well and truly. And he was calling for that as well, Gufferson. He was calling for that kick. He knew exactly what was on. He had his hand up calling for that one. That was great vision, great execution. Try confirmed. We're back on. And that is Gufferson with an anytime try. So I can go ahead and put a check next to that one as well. A check for the same game multi. Clint Gufferson. Nice. This could be a very profitable little afternoon for me. One leg of 4 ticked off nice and early. That's what you want to see. I'm not so sure about Reed Marnie scoring a try. To be honest, he came close, though, so you never know. Robert's got Guffo in his fantasy side. You know what? I just don't have the time for the NRL fantasy. Maybe next season. Maybe next season, and I'll actually... We can do it. We can all do it together. We can have a Wasted World of Sports. A Wasted World of Sports fantasy team. You know, Michelle, Morgan, myself, with input from the chat room. And we can go through and build our team every week. As opposed to me trying to find the time to do it all on my own. That might be the way to go. And it could be a little bit of fun. But yes, I do very much enjoy the fantasy concept. It's just finding the time for everything, isn't it? I've very much reached the point in my life where I need to pick and choose things that I do, as opposed to doing everything that I want to. In between juggling 3 YouTube channels, full-time employment, the tipping contest, being the father of a little fur baby. Here goes short side play from Moses. Inside is Gufferson looking for number 2. You hog past the ball. It's been called a knock on. I think that was knocked out. They probably should challenge this. Because Reed Marnie picked up the ball. They probably shouldn't blow a challenge this early, though. But I thought it was knocked out in the tackle. Let's see. No, he's just dropped it. He's just dropped it. I mean, Staffatoa did hit it, but it wasn't stripped. It was knocked out in the process of making a tackle. Oh, man. They just keep firing shots. So far, the Tigers are holding on, though. as best they can. A moment of magic by Leilua. Well, a questionable moment of magic by Leilua. And it's 6-all. Oh, and he's fallen over, and here's space for the Tigers. Straight up the middle. The Parramatta defender fell over. And that created the space. And boy, did he take it. They're now going to be fifth and last inside Eels territory. High ball to Gutho. Brings it back. Dustin Fisher says, who do you think will win this match? Well, I hope the Eels. I really hope the Eels, but goddamn if the Tigers have not showed up defensively so far. Mind you, a couple of balls that get held rather than dropped, and this could very easily be 18-6 already. Eels are looking very, very good, though. They just need to start finishing. A 60% completion rate in their sets of 6 at the moment, the Eels, is not good enough, and they won't be happy with that, and they will cop a serving for that at halftime, I'm sure. Short side play, there's space again. Every time they run the ball, there's space. The Tigers are sliding, they're shutting it down. Oh no, what a horrible, horrible nightmare scenario for Dylan Brown. He was trying to be sneaky, he was trying to be a few steps ahead of the play. And again, that will not help their completion rate. It's another incompleted set. And they won't be happy with that at all. Tigers off the hook. %59% possession for Parramatta for a 54% completion rate. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. And there's a mistake now from the Tigers, which was probably a little bit of justice because I feel like that was a slightly forward pass to James Tarmo, but they did get away with it. But 56% possession for a 54% completion rate is garbage. At this level, garbage. But now, early in the tackle count, well, midway through the tackle count now, and they are 35 metres out, the Eels. So, chance to attack again. It's an early kick from Dylan Brown because the fullback is up in the line. Oh, and he has tried to smack it over the dead ball line, and he missed it. And lucky for him, he sort of ran into it. As he missed having a swipe at that ball, Daine Laurie. He missed it with his hands, but he's accidentally walked into it. And it ends up over the dead ball line. Another set restart. Well, not set restart, set repeat. But the big storyline of this is it's still 6 points all. We are still 6 points all. And that is probably on the back of that completion rate by Parramatta because they've had all the ball, all the territory, and that's a forward pass, and he's knocked it on, and that will be another incompleted set. And what is going on here? Parramatta, they're doing this on purpose just to mess with me, aren't they? They're doing this just to mess with me. They know that I don't like them, so they don't want to win me any money. A loss to the Tigers does nothing to them. They'll still be in the top 8. They'll still likely be in 4th spot on the ladder. And here's a bust for the Tigers, busting through 3. Stafford Toa. Offload. And this is all on tackle 1. Big gap has opened up here. Reed Marnie, for some reason, Reed Marnie is back at fullback. And the Tigers have got all the momentum. What is going on? I knew this would happen. I had a horrible fit. This is why I never include Parramatta in anything. Inside ball to Tamo. And again, last time the Tigers were down here, they scored a huge cutout ball. Steps inside, does Norfoluma, and the Tigers are over the try line. Can you believe what we are seeing? And now Parramatta's one of the Parramatta players has hurt his ass, pointing to it. It's my ass. It's my ass. Well, I'll tell you what, mate. You weren't the only one that was put on your ass during that play. Stafford Toa busts through 3. Makes the defense look foolish. Kept the ball alive. Reid Marnie was covering at fullback for some reason. And then huge cutout pass here. Brooks cuts out 2. Finds Norfoluma. And Norfoluma is over. 10-6 kick to come. And these sons of bitches from Parramatta are doing this on purpose, I swear. They found out, hey, that dang guy from Wasted World of Sports that keeps giving us crap, we don't want him to win any money. Let's screw this up for him. All we have to do is beat the bottom of the table team by 13 plus points, but let's not do it. Screw him. Screw that guy. Plenty of time left in this game, though. The Tigers have only got 2. They've only been given 2 opportunities, and they've iced both of them. Twice they've been down Parramatta's end, and twice they've scored. Parramatta just need to relax a little bit. They've been very impatient on attack. And the impatience means they've been pushing those passes, which has been leading to the errors, which has been leading to that completion rate, which is under 60%, which is just unacceptable. So the missed conversion, but the Tigers are leading 10-6. And the interesting thing here, the Tigers are leading this game on the back of 44%. Possession. 44%. Should not be leading the game with 44% possession. You just shouldn't be. But they are. Okay, Opacek has hurt his left hip, apparently. He's not part of my multi, which is good. And here is a penalty for the Tigers. And we've got another player down here for the Eels. That is Nathan Brown. Nathan Brown is down and out. Oh, he's twisted his leg or something. What the hell happened? I have no idea what happened. He just sort of dropped. I think the last time that we streamed a Parramatta game, they had about 34 guys fall over injured, didn't they? MPSHS podcast. You reckon Hastings 7 is a great choice from the Tigers? I think it's still pretty early to tell, isn't it? They're winning this game, but they're winning this game on the back of 44% possession and a lot of Parramatta Eels errors. I don't think that they've necessarily looked too solid necessarily. And well, I mean, look, they've been solid. That's probably unfair of me to say they haven't looked solid, but they've looked, they haven't, it's not like they've been tearing the Eels apart here. It's just they're getting themselves down into attacking territory on the back of Eels' mistakes. and moments of individual brilliance are what's doing it at the moment. Leilua's busting run went through 3 guys to score, questionably. I thought it was a double movement, personally, but try was given, and then you had Luke Brooks with a great double cutout pass right on the line. Short ball, which was again questionable, but it could have just been the camera angle. We do have that awkward sort of back diagonal camera angle. 5th and last, they come to the right again. There's Hastings with a great kick through, and it's another try. And can you believe Norfoloma has got a double? Now that answers the question. Hastings at 7, a great choice. He just made it look great with that play right there, because that was all him. That was all Hastings. Saw the space, put it in over the top, but Norfoloma 14-6 kick to come. And, yeah, just more reasons for me to hate Parramatta coming up right here. The Parramatta Eels just don't want me to like them, do they? They just don't want me to like them at all. The last thing I needed was more reasons to hate the Eels, but they're doing their best so far today. Unreal. This is absolutely unbelievable. The Tigers withstood all the pressure. All the pressure. And they've come back down the other end time and time again. And they are just icing their chances. That's the difference at the moment. They haven't had a lot of chances. They've only been down here 3 times, and they've scored a try every single time. The Tigers might have my money. Well, I did do the bet through Neds, and Neds are a sponsor of the Tigers, aren't they? And it's another missed conversion, and that is all that's really keeping us in this game at the moment. And by us, I mean those of us who have this exact weekend-long multi on the line tonight. It's the missed conversions. It's only an 8-point deficit. It should be... It's an awkward one to say, isn't it? Like, it should be less. But it should also be so much more. So we got 12. NRL Pick'em, win a share of $100,000 every week. I forgot to put my NRL Pick'em tips in this week. Just goes back to that conversation that I was having earlier about I need to pick and choose the things that I participate in, because time is of the essence when I'm trying to juggle all the things that I've got going on. And there is something that I clearly forgot. I completely forgot to get my NRL Pick'em tips in this week. Space again here for the Tigers. And they've got an overlap here. It's a nice sliding defense, though, by the Eels. 5th and last on halfway. Brooks goes high. Gutherson's got it covered. Takes it. Brings it back. And now there is a sort of hush over this crowd. And I just feel like nobody really knows what to think here at the moment. What a turn-up. What a turn-up we're seeing so far. And the halftime cash-out value is going to be very interesting, because I reckon it's going to nosedive. And it won't even be worth my time cashing out at this point. Gutherson, dummies. Nice offload. Penisini, inside kick. It's covered by the Tigers. And it's been grounded. And it will be a line dropout. That was a nice dummy by Gutherson, because I tell you what, if Gutherson passes that ball instead of dummying, it is 6 points down the other end on the back of an intercept, and we're looking at a 20 points to 6 West Tigers lead. But he did well. He resisted the urge, and he held onto it, and he just pumped and got it out to Penisini. Great dropout. It's bounced over the heads of the Eels, and now he's slipped over and fallen on his face. Oh, it's all going horribly wrong here for the Eels. And Leilua says, I will take full advantage of this, thank you. Up he comes, raging beast, up in defense. Puts them down. And this is all going very chaotic very quickly here for the Eels, but they do get a very relieving set restart there. Short ball there, Papali. So we need a big second half here for the Eels. They are going to make this as difficult as possible. As Mitchell Moses just hurls it off to nobody. It's been touched by the Tigers. Lucky. That's a knock on. It's cool, play on. That's a knock on. Wow, the crowd are all over the referee here for that one. And now it's a penalty to the Tigers. And Parramatta are self-imploding here. They are absolutely... You know, this is the end-of-season slide that we usually see from Parramatta. We're seeing it in round 6 against the Tigers. They've given away a penalty. The Tigers are starting this set on halfway. And remember, the Tigers have scored a try every time they get down into attacking territory. Every single time. They've had a 100% success rate so far every time they get down here. Basically the Tigers versus Titans game. Oh, another offload. And the offloads are what's killing them at the moment. Well, offloads is what's killing the Parramatta Eels defense. But it's the dropsies. It's the dropsies. That's what's killing the Parramatta attack. And they're 10 metres out here. 5th and last. They go short side. Brooks. Oh, it was on there. It was on. It was on Ken Maumalo. No, it wasn't. It was Stafford Toa. Stafford Toa has flicked it out. Stafford Toa with a really awkward looking pass there. He sort of dummied. He kind of dummied and passed at the same time. It's almost like he fell for his own dummy pass, if that makes sense. Because it looks like he was about to hold on to it, but then realized, oh crap, they haven't fallen for it. I'm going to get hit here. And he's ended up just sort of shoveling it along. It was really awkward looking. And that's why it went behind everybody and into touch. And now Parramatta a relieving penalty. And they're still... Look, they're only 8 points behind. And there's still plenty of time to go in this one to get the necessary 13-plus points ahead. I had a feeling that they were going to make it as awkward as possible for me. I just had a feeling. Such is my relationship with the Parramatta Eels. I just knew they were going to make this as difficult as possible for me. But there's a long time to go in this one. To only be 8 points behind, they'll be disappointed, but also quite relieved, I dare say. And through the hands they go. Hurls it inside, play on. And just a lack of patience again there. But Nathan Brown has picked it up on tackle 3, and that should be 6 again. And it is 6 again for taking too long to get off the tackle player. Here is their opportunity now, the Eels. Here is a big opportunity. 6 minutes to go till half-time. And Gutherson pops it over. And they got in each other's way there a little bit. Penisini is covered off nicely. And it's another 6 again for inside 10. The pressure remains. But just, yeah, you can notice in the play by the Eels here, in their attack, just a real lack of patience, expecting things to happen rather than trying to create them. They're just expecting everything to fall into place. It's a mindset that you can get yourself stuck in when you're playing the bottom of the table team. And they've well and truly fallen for it. So far, Papali'i is over. And we've got leg number 2 ticked off. Isaiah Papali'i gets leg number 2 of our same game multi, gets the Eels back in this contest, and it also brings back to life our Easter weekend multi. Yeah. And I can start to calm down a little bit. Assuming they don't bring this back for some reason, I can start to relax a little bit. 14-10, kick to come, 5 minutes to go till halftime. Papali'i, 1 out from the ruck, charging only 5 meters out from the line, reaches out and plants it down and screams, yes! As he pops that ball down. Try confirmed, everything back on. Oh, wow. They are not going to make this easy for me, though. They're not going to make my afternoon a comfortable one, the Parramatta Eels. Papali'i. Check. And we've got half our same-game multi ticked off before half-time, which is always the way. All right, I'll have a quick break while he's taking his conversion, and I'll be right back. Okay, so for those of you who don't have video access to the game, you might not have seen the Tigers got a little bit of a talking to by the ref there after that try. So there was a late tackle, I think it was, a late shot on Mitch Moses, which has gone on report. And the referee has also warned the Tigers in general, any more sixth agains, you could be losing a guy to the bin. And that could totally shift things in our favour in multi-land if they end up with a player in the sin bin. So conversion missed. The score stays 14 points to 10. And Vopsy says Snickers taste like crap. There you go. Not a big chocolate man myself, to be perfectly honest. I like me some Cadbury Top Deck, but I haven't had one for so long. I'm not even sure. Is it still called Top Deck? But yeah, not a big chocolate man. Short side play here. Eels into Tigers territory again, as they have done quite comfortably all game. It's just been their completion rate. 5th and last, 30 metres out. Dylan Brown is going to go high. It's touched by the Eels. It's knocked backwards. Tigers recover the ball, but it's been called a Tigers knock on. This needs to be a challenge. This needs to be a challenge because that was knocked back by the Eels. It was not knocked on by the Tigers at all. And this is the right thing here. They've decided to challenge that. He was screaming at his captain, challenge, challenge. Just onside. just onside there from the kick, so that's all good. And this was knocked back. Sean Lane has got up for Parramatta and knocked this one back. I don't think it touches Daine Laurie at all. Knocked backwards. Sean Lane knocks it on into the shoulder of Daine Laurie. And this will be Tigers' ball. Great challenge. We saw it happen live when that had to be a challenge. Had to be a challenge. And a successful challenge for the Tigers. But they're still under the pump here. Starting their set 10 metres out. 3 minutes to go to halftime. They need to go into halftime in the lead, the Tigers. They need to. Because if they give up another try and they give up the lead in this match, that would be huge. Great news for us. Great news for the Maltese. Bad news for the Tigers. So yeah, Hastings is looking good in the number 7 for the Tigers. Shifting Luke Brooks as well. Just to, get him a little bit more freedom, get him out of that role. Fifth and last here. Hastings goes high. Gutherson's got it covered. Takes it. Oh, and Gutherson is bulldozed by Daine Laurie. And the Tigers have just gone up several gears. Timed that to perfection. Absolutely destroyed Gutherson. And the Tigers are going to get last say in this half. Timed his run to perfection. Gutherson claims it and is hit straight away and driven back onto the Goodyear logo. And it might be a good year, but that certainly wasn't a good moment for Clint Gutherson. Oh, I'm way too proud of that one. They've gone for a short kickoff, and it's just been saved from going out on the full. Why would you go for a short dropout? A minute and a half to go till halftime, and you're only behind by 4. And that's just Parramatta doing Parramatta things, I dare say. But a short dropout that nearly went over the sideline on the full. As a matter of fact, it did. And they've stretched them here, the Tigers. And they've made a mistake. A very relieving mistake. And Gutherson's happy about that. Well, Gutherson, I'm sorry, mate, but you can't smack talk Daine Laurie when Daine Laurie just owned your ass seconds ago. I don't know why he is jabbing at Daine Laurie. Because I'm sorry, mate. Daine Laurie didn't make the mistake. And he owned you just moments ago. But an interesting decision to go for a short dropout there. With a minute and a half to go till halftime, behind 14-10. It's not like this was the second half and they needed the ball back. They just need to get to halftime here and reset. Regather themselves, the Eels, and come out in the second half with a little bit more patience and a much higher completion rate. The completion rate has successfully improved, as that's halftime. They've lifted themselves up from what it was 44% at one point. 44% completion rate at one point during that half, the Eels. They've improved it to 69%, and it's no surprise that with the improvement of the completion rate, they're only 4 points behind. And, Clint Gutherson, that was really unacceptable. I mean, that was unacceptable on so many levels. It was unacceptable just in general, but the fact to be mouthing off at the guy who just owned your ass on the try line moments before, and he wasn't even involved in the mistake that was made. Yeah, it's not a good look there for Gutherson. So this is absolutely incredible. We are going to halftime. The West Tigers 14. Parramatta Eels 10. I will say that again. Halftime. West Tigers 14. Parramatta Eels 10. And this is just Parramatta Eels doing Parramatta Eelsy things. Parramatta and we don't get along. We're not friends. We have a really strained relationship, the Parramatta Eels and I. And they are doing me no favours. I had a really, really bad feeling that they were going to do me no favours at all tonight. It's the last leg of an all-weekend multi. All they have needed to do is defeat the bottom of the table team by 13 plus points, and they've gone into halftime 4 points behind. West Tigers 14. Parramatta 10. Absolutely unbelievable. So, anyways, as you can see though, I've still got a same game multi. In all honesty, if this is the game that does me in for the whole weekend multi, it won't be the end of the world if we get the same game multi up. So if Reed Marnie and Mitch Moses bag a try each in the second half and I win that one, it does ease the stress of the 13 plus margin a little bit, because I'll still be well and truly up for the weekend. And I'd have to have a look at the numbers, but quite possibly back up into positive for the year on the back of that multi-win in the Panthers-Dragons game, which is keeping us afloat at the moment. But an incredible half for the West Tigers, easily the best half of footy they've played so far this season. And they are well worth every little ounce of their 14-10 lead as it stands right here, right now. 14 points to 10. The Eels, they just needed to get themselves into halftime, reset. Bobsy says Eels going to come out as a different team. They need to show a little bit more patience. Even if, can we actually watch the game here or just listen and get to look at this clown? Well, how about, Rob, you go and purchase yourself KO Sports or Foxtel? Yeah. How about don't be a tight ass and go and do that? Yeah, so Eels, they need to just go in. They just need to go in, reset, reload, come out in the second half. They've played like a team who's really been expecting everything to happen for them, as opposed to trying to make it happen. And it's often a thing that you can get yourself into a little scenario when you're playing these bottom teams where you just expect things to happen for you. And that's what they've been doing. They've been pushing the passes, trying to make the miracle plays every time. They've really fallen victim to the trap of, this is what happens when we play the bottom of the table teams. And it's not working out too well for the Eels at the moment. That's for sure. But they've done just enough to keep themselves in this game. It would have been a very different story if it was... Imagine if it was like 14-0. And then remember that moment during the first half where I said Gutherson has done well to actually hold on to the ball here. He double pumped the pass, and they were raging up looking for the intercept there, the Tigers. So if he had have actually let go of that ball, they were all over it. It would have been an intercept. and it would have been try time down the other end under the post, and the Tigers would have been up 20 points to 6. It would have been at that point in time. But he did well, Gutherson. He double pumped the ball, sold the dummy, and they survived there. Yeah, the funny thing is, I do, of course, I've got my Discord server, and where, of course, we all know what happens on the Discord server, so there's a little lesson there to Rob and anyone else who might be joining. I'm more than happy to share what I've got going on in the Discord server with people, but if you come into the chat room and just basically be a dick rather than being polite about it, then I don't want to share my Discord server with you if that's how you're going to be. And of course, I'm talking about the other Rob, not you, Robert M. 1989. Different Rob. But I'm sure you're very much aware of that. Oh, I can't believe this. This is this is going to be a very nerve-wracking second half. Yeah, exactly. Look, if you come in and you're just polite, then I have absolutely no problem telling you where you can go and jump on, and I'm more than happy to share everything with you, but come in and make an ass of yourself, I'm not going to be as kind. Oh, I can't believe this. I'm speechless. I'm absolutely speechless. I don't really know what to say here. 14-10, West Tigers. Absolutely incredible. I had a very bad feeling. I really did. I had a horrible feeling. I said that at the top of the stream, that I have a very horrible feeling about this. And they're going to make my weekend as troubling as possible, aren't they? Tell you what, though, Parramatta, they've pretty much made space and opportunities at will. They just haven't had the patience to ice them. That's the big difference. Just pushing one past too many. And let's not forget, a big difference that could ultimately swing this game. The Tigers have already had a talking to from the referee. Let's not forget about that. That could be a very important moment. A very important moment in this game could be that talking to that Luke Brooks and the Tigers had on their own goal line. The referee did say, any more strings of six agains down here on your try line, and somebody's going to the bin. So that is something that could ultimately swing this game as well before it's all over. So let's keep an eye on that. Let's not forget about that. That could be the thing that gets this home. If the second half is the exact same as the first half, then just hurry up and get the Benji show on. Tony Lewis, yeah, come on, Parramatta. What are they doing? I'll tell you what they're doing. They're not being patient enough. They're pushing passes, just expecting things to go their way because they're playing the bottom of the table team, and the bottom of the table team have decided, no, we're not going to accept this anymore. We're going to come out and actually absolutely put on the best effort that we've put on all season so far. Okay, so we were talking about heel fries. I think it was Vobsy or Robert, somebody. It was Robert. Robert mentioned heel fries. He's just sent me a message on Discord, and he is at the game. Heel fries is actually at the game right now. All right, I'm going to ask him, how's the vibe at the ground? How's the vibe at the ground? So yeah, that's interesting. That's why he's not on the stream. He is at the game. So I've just asked him how's the vibe at the ground? What's the general feeling there? Probably a lot of disbelief at the moment. Well, as I said, this is what you expect from the Eels sort of towards the back end of the season, isn't it? This is all very much the Eels towards the back end of the season. They very traditionally have a little bit of a late season slide. This is the sort of performance you expect to see then. Not now. Not in round 6 against the bottom of the table Tigers. But you know what it is? It's all my fault. It's all completely my fault because I'm going for them. That's the problem. I'm going for the Eels today. There is just something. I've broken the universe. I've broken the universe is what's happened. The universe cannot handle me actually being a Parramatta Eels supporter. So everything's broken. Juxie. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Juxie. See? If you come in and you politely ask a question like Juxie just has, we are more than happy to answer. And I am sharing my screen on Discord, so you can view the game if you don't have access to it. So see, if you just come in and you be polite and you just ask the question, rather than being a dickhead, you have the question answered, and I'm always more than happy to help out. Second half underway here, West Tigers. And Parramatta will get first use of the footy, and it would be very nice for all our multis if they got the first try on the back of that. Nice offload, and that's a good start to the second half here. Third tackle already up to the halfway line, and an early kick by Reid Marnie. Not so sure about that as an option. Daine Laurie was back there. I mean, they've chased well, but third tackle on halfway, an early kick. I'm really not so sure about that as an option. Oh, and another late offload, this time by the Tigers. Just as he was being driven backwards in a tackle of 3. And on the back of this set of 6, it makes you question even more the option of that early kick. A third tackle kick on the halfway line when the fullback was already back in defence. Just makes no sense to me, but obviously he saw something that I didn't. And the end result of all that is a little bit of a stalemate, and we're right back to where we were when the game kicked off. So the message from the sheds at halftime, apparently, Brad Arthur has said, calm down, you idiots, essentially. Calm down. Don't try and score every play. Just go through. Trust the system. Probably what it was. Trust the system. Play with patience. Oh, there was an opportunity out to the left there. High ball here on the 5th and last. Daine Laurie's taken it. He's had his pants pulled down, but they've got the ball. Put the NRL on. Go pay for KO or Foxtel. Even though that wasn't necessarily mean, it wasn't exactly polite either. So you can go to hell. Pants down. Daine Laurie's lost his pants fully this time. He had them sort of pulled down before, and they weren't satisfied with that. They wanted to pull them all the way down. I'll tell you what, we've got all the bogan goofs out tonight, don't we? All the insolent bogans are out tonight. Is it anything to do with the Parramatta game being on? Am I allowed to say that? No offense, heel fries. No offense, heel fries and other Parramatta supporters, but I can't help but notice that the Parramatta game is suddenly there's a much larger massive dickheads in the chat room than there usually is. Dustin Fisher says, do you mind if I hop on the Discord? Not at all, mate. You've always been very polite with me. Shahil Deb says, go Tigers. They're certainly going at the moment, aren't they? What a turn-up this has been so far. West Tigers are indeed winning a game. It's hard to believe. 14-10. Bobsy's going to get food. Every time he goes to get food, someone scores a try. So let's see. Well, it's 5th and last. Eels. Centimetres out from the line with backline play. Oh, and he's passed it to the touch judge instead of the winger. Ah, God. What is going on here, Parramatta Eels? What is happening? The execution has gone to hell. And I tell you what, it's my fault. I'm claiming responsibility for this performance by the Parramatta Eels. I really am. Because the universe just can't handle me actually cheering on a Parramatta Eels team. That's what it is. I have destroyed the universe. He's knocked it on. Ah, it's been given a penalty. He got away with that one. Penalty to the Tigers. A very relieving one at that. Damo Swag. Ahoy. So we've got a captain's challenge here. They're challenging that decision, which I think is a fantastic challenge. I thought that was a pretty clean knock on, but let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what happened. As I said, I might be a little bit biased tonight because I've got my my Easter weekend multi riding on this game. All right. So up he gets, up he gets, up he gets. He's got his hands on him. It's always dangerous. That's just a horrible play, the ball. And that should be a successful challenge. And that should be Parramatta ball on the back of a knock-on. There is no way that can't be overturned. It is a successful challenge. It is a clear knock-on. It's Parramatta ball. Damo Swag asks, who are you going for in this game? Well, over there, the last leg of my entire weekend-long multi is Parramatta to win by 13 plus. As you can see, I've got ticks all across the board. We just need Parramatta by 13 plus. So, for the first time in my life, I'm a Parramatta supporter for tonight. If I didn't have that multi on, I'd be loving this. Don't get me wrong. I would be absolutely loving the West Tigers, bottom of the table, turning up and putting it to one of the top teams. And they've just pushed over the scrum. They've actually contested the scrum. They've done a Parramatta against Parramatta and contested the scrum, and they've won the ball. They just walked over the top of it. The West Tigers are well and truly up for this one. And as I was saying, under normal circumstances, I would be loving this, but this is screwing my multi. Caleb Ball, ahoy there. Who do you go for? Shark supporter, but I'm on board with the Eels tonight because we need the Eels to win 13 plus to get that 6-leg multi for the weekend. It's the last check on the list, and they are making it very, very difficult at the moment, aren't they? Touched by the Tigers. And Parramatta survive. Yes, Parramatta survive. And that is all they're doing at the moment. They are surviving. And they've got to bring this out from deep in their territory. And I put this... Oh, he's dropped... Oh, he hasn't dropped the ball. It was somebody's boots. Okay, relax. It was just somebody's white boots. He held on to the ball. I put this all... And another early kick. Inside the 40 this time, Marnie. And it is about 74 metres out on the full. And Parramatta are just imploding here. Parramatta are just imploding. Every mistake you can possibly make, the Parramatta Eels are making it tonight. And the bottom of the table, West Tigers, are putting them to the sword here. Boogie Stanley says, go the Eels. They really need to pull their finger out, don't they? They have really got to pull their fingers out here. Parramatta, West Tigers have had 5 tackles. This is going to be number 6. When they eventually get tackled. If they eventually get tackled. This is only the 6th tackle that the Tigers have had inside the Eels' 20-metre line. They have just iced every opportunity. Space here! Space! It's a try! My God! The Tigers have just scored again. They are making the Eels look ridiculous here tonight. Parramatta, all you needed to do for my multi was show up and win this game by 13 plus, as everybody expected you to do, but you are ballsing it up as if I needed any more reasons to hate the Parramatta Eels. They're doing their best. They are doing their absolute best to make me hate them even more. Try confirmed. 18 points to 10. Kick to come. 31 minutes to go in this game. This is absolutely unbelievable. Where has this performance come from the West Tigers? I'll tell you where it's come from. It's come from the fact that I only needed this game to get up for my multi to be successful this weekend, and the Parramatta Eels and I just do not get along. There was no way they were doing this for me. No way. This is absolutely unbelievable. 18-0 kick to come. Every time the Tigers have got down into Parramatta territory, they've had 6 tackles. 6 tackles they've had inside the Eels 20. And they've scored another try. They just keep scoring tries. And they are still, this is still an absolutely unbelievable stat for me. 48% possession for the Tigers. And they are potentially going to be up by 10 points. How do you lead a game by 8 to 10 points with 48% possession? How does that happen? He moves in, he strikes it, he puts it right down the middle. And it is 20 points to 10. 30 minutes to go. The Tigers lead this game by 10 points on the back of 48% possession. 6 tackles in the entire game they've had inside the opposition 20-meter line. And they've got themselves a 10-point lead. This is absolutely unbelievable. This is Parramatta doing Parramatta things. And they're certainly not endearing themselves to me this week. Wow. So there's 30 minutes to go. I need the Eels by 13 plus. So not only do they have to get 10 points to get back, more than 10 points to get back ahead, they then need to get another 13 plus without letting the Tigers get any more. Or they've gone and screwed me very badly this weekend, the Parramatta Eels. Oh, absolutely. As I was saying, Shawheely Deb. As I was saying, absolutely. If I did not have this multi on, I would be loving this. I would be absolutely loving every moment of this if I did not have that all weekend long multi riding on this game. And at the end of the day, look, it was a $20 stake. I don't care necessarily about losing $20. That's not a big deal. But yeah, absolutely, 100%. If it weren't for the bet, I would be all in on this. I would be loving every moment of what the Tigers are dishing up. A step by Dylan Brown. Reed Marnie's inside. Reed Marnie to score untouched. Try time, Parramatta. Not only is that a try, that is leg number 3 of my same game multi. Reed Marnie has scored under the post. Same game multi back on. We've got Papali here. We've got Gutherson. We've now got Reed Marnie. If Mitch Moses can score a try, then I won't even care what happens for the rest of this game. I won't care who wins, who loses. If Mitch Moses wins, I still win $176 for the day. So, out of absolutely nowhere, I was having a good old chat over on Facebook with Shahil Deb about how I would usually be cheering on the Tigers in a scenario like this, were it not for my all-weekend multi. And then as I'm in the middle of that conversation, Dylan Brown, a step off the left foot. He absolutely parted the Tigers' defense and went straight through, drew in Daine Laurie at fullback, and Reed Marnie went in untouched. Try number 3 for the Eels. And an easy conversion for Mitchell Moses. 20 points to 16. Game on. Bets are on. They're all still on because there's still 27 minutes to go in this one. All right, don't forget, because everybody's behaving themselves in the chat room now. The couple of dickheads that decided to show up have weeded themselves out. So I would like to share with you all my Discord server again, where if you don't have access to the game, feel free to jump on Discord, and you can pop on to the Watch Games Live channel over there and actually see the gameplay. I'm sharing my screen there every weekend. Pretty much every game, every weekend, I share my screen over there. Because let's not give Uncle Rupert more money than he deserves. The rich, greedy old bastard that he is. And we are well and truly back on here. Oh. Parramatta. Oh, maybe that could spark them into something and they just run away with this now. Let's wait and see. Fourth tackle, still inside their own territory. Old mate's getting teabagged in the tackle there. Fifth and last from Gutherson with a great run. They are now well and truly into Tigers territory. Fifth and last, Moses goes high. Chasing through and, very nearly taking the man out in the air. Did very well to pull out of that. Daine Laurie's taken it nicely, though. And it's Tigers' ball. I don't even know. The Eels won't even be thinking 13 plus at this point, of course. They'll be thinking, what do we do just to win this game, first and foremost? Oh, James, you're at the game as well. Nice. So we've got a couple of people actually at the game. Fifth and last, inside the 40. Imagine if they hooked a 40-20 at this point. That'd be huge. But it hasn't. It hasn't been a 40-20. It's been a kick straight down the throat of Clint Gutherson. And Parramatta start this game. I mean, start this game. Well, I suppose Parramatta, in a way, have only really just started this game. Grady, Ahoy, up the Tigers. Big run here for the Eels, and they're into Tigers territory. 40 metres out on tackle 3. Madison, just a settler up the middle. Dylan Brown steps, Gutherson puts a kick through. It's a little heavy. It's over the dead ball line. It's a 7 tackle set. Gutherson, horrible option. Horrible execution. Horrible everything. Finn McGillivray says Tigers need this win. Yeah, look, to be perfectly honest. Oh, that's a penalty, Tigers. Very relieving penalty. Very relieving penalty early in the tackle count. Yeah, look, absolutely. In all honesty, at the end of the day, I don't care about losing $20. It'd be very nice to win $200, but I don't care about losing $20. The Tigers, they've had a lot of bad luck on top of a lot of bad form. It hasn't been all them. It hasn't been all their own fault this season, to be fair. The Tigers have had some rotten luck go their way as well, so a $20 loss to a $200 win is all largely irrelevant. I certainly couldn't begrudge the Tigers for turning up the way they have, absolutely putting it to the Eels in a game everybody would have expected them to lose very comprehensively. Win, lose, my bet aside, full credit to the Tigers. Even if they fall apart from this moment on, they've put up a really good display. And this just shakes up the entire dynamic of the competition, doesn't it? Because suddenly the Tigers have shown we are not walkovers. If you think you are going to show up in a game against us and just win by default, we have got news for you. We have got news for you. We are back. And they've also got a set repeat here. So whilst they're setting up this dropout, I will have myself a very quick break, and I'll be right back. They've done a short dropout again, the Eels. What is with these short dropouts? They're absolutely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary, these dropouts. (2016), 22 minutes to go. We've got a man down injured. That's what is holding up the game at the moment. Foxy Tito says, F the Tigers. Well, you know what? They're making my life very difficult at the moment, aren't they? I needed the Eels by 13 plus. Get the last check in my 6-leg multi. And of course, the sons of bitches have to show up. Of all weekends, they have to show up this weekend, don't they? They couldn't show up weekends gone by when I didn't have any money riding on their games. They had to show up today, the Tigers. And of course, Parramatta have self-imploded as well. Oh, he's being carried off by the trainers. Who was that? He's down. He's down and out. He is. He's getting carried off. Off he goes. Oh, that's Tigers number 9. That is Jake Simpkin. Jake Simpkin is off with some sort of ankle injury. Some form of obliterated ankle. Brooks to dummy half, perhaps. We'll see. But the hooker for the Tigers, Jake Simpkin, he's off. He's getting driven off in the Medicart. So it will be interesting to see who goes in at number 9. Who replaces him at hooker? Luke Brooks is the obvious option, and Luke Brooks is there at dummy half at the moment, so it looks like that's the way it's going to play out. But we're back into it. We're back into action. Tigers, second tackle. 10 meters out from the Eels line. And they could go a very long way to screwing me tonight if they score a try right here. Oh, steps back inside. And a big don't argue to Reed Marnie. Leigh Lewis knocked the ball on. Leilua drew the attention of about 13 Eels defenders. And he's just dropped the ball cold. He might have had a sneaky little look there. Is Liddell... Oh, Michael Maguire's not happy about that. It looks like Liddell might not be playing tonight. I can't see his name anywhere in the team sheets. Scrum down for the Eels. There's no push this time from the Tigers. A big run. He's not held. He's up. He's up. He's running again. Chance for a one-on-one strip, but he gets swarmed by a few defenders. Who was that? That was Niukore. Niukore with a big run. Fourth tackle. They're into Tiger territory now, the Eels. And again, it's been the story of the night so far. Like, on attack, the Eels have been making meters at will. Fifth and last, 40 meters out. Moses goes high. This is easily covered off, though. Well, actually, they haven't even attempted to take it. No one wanted anything to do with that ball. And it just bounces over the sideline. And I think this 13 plus is looking out of the question. I think my best bet right now is to start cheering for Mitchell Moses to score a try. Mitch Moses to score a try, I feel like that's what we need. I think the 13 plus is done. The 13 plus is done. The Eels have gone and screwed me on the all-weekend multi. The best we can hope for now is a Mitchell Moses try. And it's a $40 less win, but it's still a win. Oh, there's numbers here for the Tigers. Hey, dummies. And Moses does not fall for it. And they are shut down now. Fifth and last, just over the halfway line, the Tigers. A high ball should be easily covered off. The chase is not down in time. And it's a good chase, though. Simonson's just clipped around the ankles. Gutherson, nowhere to go. The Tigers are not going to relinquish this easily, if at all. So we've got a Tigers player down in back play. Another injury for them. We're inside the last quarter. So that 13 plus looking more and more damaging. He's broken away here for the Eels. Gets an offload to Gutherson. It was Penisini with the break. Gutherson takes the tackle. Fifth and last now, 40 metres out from the Tigers' line. Now let's see what they come up with. They go short side again. Moses goes high. A high loopy kick. They persist with this. Tigers just stand back and let it bounce. It bounces awkwardly for Laurie. And he has to tap it over the dead ball line. And that's always the risk when you let the ball bounce. You let the ball bounce, you are at the peril of the bounce of a football. And the bounce of a football can be a very unpredictable and dangerous thing indeed. Last time, it just bounced over the sideline. This time, Tigers under undue pressure. And Parramatta will get this ball back. No short dropouts for the Tigers. They swing the ball wide immediately, and they do have numbers there, but stepping back inside. I think that was Niukore. It wasn't. It was Penisini. Offload on tackle one. This is unnecessary. They're still panicking. They have not tightened things up for the second half, the Eels. They're still unnecessarily throwing this ball around. They're playing short ball to Papali'i from Moses. Papali'i trying to break his way through. He's just pulled down on tackle 3. 5 metres out from the line. But the Tigers have just been... and there's a mistake, and it is a huge mistake. It is a big unforced error by Kaufusi. And the Eels just continue to self-implode with these errors. And the Tigers just continue to hold on. I don't know who hates me this week. Who hates me today? Who hates me? The Tigers or the Eels? I don't understand. I can't decide which one of these two hate me. Based on the way that the Eels are just imploding and making mistakes, I think it's the Eels. And that would be no surprise at all. I would be shocked if the Tigers hated me because I've never had anything against the Tigers. I think it's the Eels. The Eels hate me. We do have a hate-hate relationship, myself and the Parramatta Eels. And usually I would be cheering on their failures. And I would be taking great delight in what I'm seeing at the moment. But the fact that I've got... all they needed to do was come out and beat the bottom of the table team by 13 plus. That's all they needed to do. And at the moment, it seems like they can't even beat them. Let alone doing it by 13 plus. Oh, here is a break for the Tigers upfield. They've got numbers. It's shut down, though, by the Eels. Fifth and last. 40 metres out from the Eels line. This kick is perfect. And Gutherson starts from his own goal line and only manages to bring it 15 metres out. There's only 15 minutes to go in this game. A little less. And they're just they're going for the glory plays each and every time. There's no patience. There's no setup. There's no structure. They are ignoring their systems. They're just trying to score a try every time they play the ball, the Eels. Whether you're playing the team top of the table or you're playing the team bottom of the table, you've got to rely on your structure. You still have to go through the motions. You've still got to keep your form, keep your structure. And the Eels have just not done that tonight. This time, the Tigers do not let the ball bounce on 5th and last. And there's only 13 minutes to go, so the 13 plus is done. The Eels have gone and screwed me. The Eels have gone and absolutely screwed me. They've given me more reasons to dislike them. I absolutely cannot stand this team, and they've done themselves no favors in my eyes tonight either. I don't think there's only 13 minutes to go. I don't think they can do enough now to get a 13-plus lead. They've just totally gone and bollocks to me. Leilua shrugs away. He's had a massive game, Leilua, and he gets the offload. And they get all tangled up there, the Tigers. 5th and last. But 5th and last, back in Eels territory, on that 40-metre line. High ball, chase through. Gutherson's taken slightly in the air. He's appealing for the penalty. He's like, come on, ref. I was still in the air. Where's my penalty? The penalty is not forthcoming. 12 and a half to go. And here's the penalty. So they get a penalty for something completely different. And that was honestly probably the make-up penalty when the referee has now realized, oh crap, I missed that tackle in the air. This was the make-up penalty. This was the one that was supposed to be given just before, but they've actually given it to them now. But the Eels, 12 and a half minutes to go, and they're trying to milk another penalty here. Oh no, that was the replay. Never mind. Never mind. I thought they were trying to milk another penalty. It was just a replay. Oh, we've got another injury here for the Eels. Is that Simon? If that's Simonson down? More injury concerns here for Parramatta. Oh, it's Opacek. Opacek's down. Oh, yeah, Opacek. He's done something to his lower leg. Jeez. Parramatta cannot win a trick here. Opacek down. They've already... Waqa Blake's already out. Another couple of outside backs are already out. They just can't win a trick. But yeah, 12 minutes to go. The multi-shot, the Eels have just gone and destroyed my... Look at that. Tick. Rabbitohs, 13 plus. Tick. Panthers, 13 plus. Tick. Manly, a win. Tick. Roosters, win. Tick. Dragons, win. Tick. All these sons of bitches from Parramatta needed to do was show up and beat the bottom of the table team 13 plus, and it would have been 6 checks all in a row, and it would have been a nice little bonus for me over the Easter long weekend. But no, they couldn't have that, could they? They couldn't allow that for me, the Eels. Such is our hatred towards each other, Parramatta and myself. They couldn't even beat the worst team in the competition by 13 points. Can't even beat them. They can't even beat them, period, let alone beat them by 13 plus, just so that I could win my bet. Could they? No, the Parramatta Eels could not do that. Such is the hatred and disdain that we have for each other. We don't want to see each other happy. They don't want to win me anything. So this one weekend, I'm a Parramatta Eels fan. This is what they serve up. Yusuf Wawa, do you have a problem with me mentioning it a lot on my own stream? Is there a problem that I keep coming back to that? Because if it is, you might want to go elsewhere and find another live stream, because I talk a lot about sports betting. As you can see, I've got nice big graphics over here. I put same game multis on every game, and I put multis on the entire weekend. So if you've got a problem with me talking about sports betting a lot, you might want to find somewhere else to hang out, mate. K Skull M says, finally found a better live commentator for NRL. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice to have some kind words, because I noticed there haven't been a lot of them tonight. I'm starting to put that down to it being a Parramatta game. I can't help but notice that live streaming a Parramatta game, there's been more hate in the chat room directed towards me than any other time. And I've done a lot of games now. I've done a lot of games, but whenever it's a Parramatta game, that seems to be when I get all the dickheads in the chat room. But anyways, whilst I've been going on about that, there's been a high ball, a tap back. It has been claimed, and it is a try. It's a try for Niukore, and they've tied up this ball game. Niukore's had a really good game. He has had a really good game, Niukore. He has been very noticeable on the paddock for the past 10 or so minutes. He's made a lot of good runs, a lot of breaks, and he comes up with a try. It would have been nice if Mitchell Moses got the try. Now, Mitchell Moses with the opportunity to convert and put the Eels ahead for the first time tonight. This would be the first time that Parramatta take a lead in this game. He moves in, he strikes, and he cannot convert. And we could potentially be going to Golden Point. Let's not forget, Golden Point is a possibility. All right, 9 minutes 50 to go. 9 minutes 50 to go. 2 tries and a drop goal. Come on. 2 converted tries and a drop goal for the Eels in the last 10 minutes. What do you reckon? 10 minutes left, 2 converted tries and a drop goal. I just want to talk about my bet some more so that we can piss off Yusuf War. Because at the moment, I don't know if you noticed, Yusuf, but my bet is losing. My bet's losing right now. I just want to make sure that you understand that, Yusuf War. My bet is losing at the moment. And the Eels have dropped the ball. It's been knocked out completely fairly. And another mistake from the Eels, and there is a big hush over this crowd because they realize what's happened here. The Tigers have got the ball. Now, do the Tigers go for the kill, or do they set themselves up for a drop goal? I feel like I'm going to make a bold prediction right now and say if the Tigers set up for a drop goal and take a drop goal, they end up losing this game with a try at the death. But they're not. They're sending it through the hands. They're looking for the try. And that's so close. That is so close. That ball has not reached the grass. That has not reached the grass. Penisini has got under that one and kept it millimeters off the turf. That is no try. Oh, that is so close, but it is held up. Absolutely incredible. Wow, that was close. Held up. We are coming back out for a play. There's still 3 tackles left in this set for the Tigers, though. They still have the upper hand. Oh, wow. This is absolutely incredible. Held up, no try, confirmed. For some reason, that took so long to confirm that it was no try. Let's get on with it. Third tackle, Tigers, a very deep backline. They've got numbers. They've got numbers. But it is a bad pass and it's shut down. Fourth tackle. They're 20 metres out. They're settling it up the middle. I feel like they might be going for a drop goal here. No, they come short side. Hastings, they're going through the hands. He's passed it behind his winger with the cutout ball. Maybe they should have gone for the drop goal. If that was all they were going to toss up on the last play, maybe they should have gone drop goal. There was no way Stafford Toa was taking that ball. And we are getting into drop goal territory. I still feel like it's too. I feel like it was too early there for the Tigers. Yeah, exactly. Dustin says, I've been in a lot of your streams, probably at least 10 of them. I haven't seen much hate, but tonight you've had a ton of people who dropped in to hate you. I blame the Eels. I blame the Eels too, Justin. I can't help but notice that it's an Eels game and all the bogans are out in the chat room. But to be totally fair, there's also been a lot of very nice new people as well. To be totally fair. I've been live streaming in one way or another for a very long time, doing gaming or commentary live streams for the sports or whatever. I've been on YouTube for about 6 years, so I've received every possible type of hate that you could possibly receive. I'm very accustomed to it. It happens. There's no way to escape it. But yes, as you say, I can't help but notice it's been kind of relentless tonight. And I also put that down to it being an Eels game. Tamo with a little bit of a loose carry there. He gets away with it, though. Reels it back in. And wins the penalty for the Tigers. Dark Blood says, I'll cry if the Eels lose. I'm already upset enough with... Look, this multi's out. The multi's out. The all-weekend multi is out. There's no way with 5.5 minutes to go that the Eels win by 13+. So they've gone ahead and screwed this. They've gone and ballsed this up for me, the Eels. It was the last leg of a 6-leg all-weekend multi, and they went and ballsed it up. All they had to do was win by 13+. That's all they had to do. But they couldn't do it. They can't even win at the moment. We're in a deadlock scenario. So they've done well to actually get themselves back in this game at all, the Eels. Here goes Leilua, threatening to break through again. He has been a big difference in this game, Leilua. A big, big performance here. for the Tigers, and they are now definitely thinking drop goal. And they're going early. Hastings, dummies. Kicks through. Nobody's back for the Eels, but the kick is way too deep. 7 tackle set for the Eels incoming. Advantage, Parramatta. Oh, he's called a dropout. Oh, he hasn't let it bounce. The Eels have gone and goofed up here. He's not let the ball bounce over the dead ball line. Hang on. Was he out? Was he out of the dead ball line? He was. Okay. Wow. Wow. I tell you what, the Eels nearly made the biggest mistake you could ever possibly make in a tight game with everything on the line right there. But they get away with it. It is a 7 tackle set. They will be in drop goal territory. It'd be nice if Mitchell Moses scored a try as opposed to them going for a drop goal. But yes, we can go ahead. Offload by Gutherson. Oh, this is a very, very messy. Nathan Brown's knocked it backwards. Lucky. We're going to Golden Point here. We're going to Golden Point. They are not going to be close enough for a drop goal on the back of this set, the Eels. Not a chance. Papali'i now trying his best to get them there, but it's 5th and last. They're 40 metres out. This short side high ball again. They've just done this all the time. And Tigers just happy to let it bounce. It's bounced kindly for them again. And that's just a horrible, horrible, horrible 5th tackle option. And I tell you what, now that my bet is done and dusted, I'm happy to go for the Tigers now. I would like to see the Tigers win this game. Now that the Eels have already screwed me out of my 6-leg all-weekend multi, unless Mitchell Moses can score the match-winning try, I'm all on board with the Tigers here right now. 2.5 minutes to go. Inside ball to Daine Laurie, and he nearly squeaks his way through. It's the 4th tackle. They're 30 metres out. Hastings, dummies. Early tackle on... Oh, was that an early tackle on Roberts? 5th and last anyway. Getting in each other's way here, the Tigers. Grubber into the in goal. Gutherson's got it covered. Gutherson's got to watch it go over the dead ball line. Advantage Eels. Again, Michael Maguire can't stand it. Maguire cannot stand it. 7 tackle set. And it's a fantastic start to the set for the Eels. Tackle 2, they're almost at the halfway line. They will definitely have an opportunity on the back of this. Dylan Brown is taken high. He's appealing for a penalty. Leilua is just crowding the play the ball area as well. Possibly a 6 again there as well. But the referee does not want to make any calls like that this late in the game that could swing the entire game. They're just settling it up now. They're definitely thinking drop goal. 1.5 minutes to go. Do they pull the trigger early? Tackle 4. Marnie looking for someone. Moses runs. Hands it off to Papali'i. And Papali'i is covered on tackle 5. Here we go. 20 metres out just to the right of the post. Crowding the play the ball area. Mitchell Moses with the drop goal. Snaps. Wide. Wide. He snapped it wide. And it remains 20-all. Unbelievable stuff here. The Tigers still have 40 seconds to get through this set and get themselves back down the other end for another shot. 33 seconds to go. Tackle 2. They're still inside their own half. Up to halfway now. Tamo offloads. Roberts links up. They're passing it along. Just settle it up. Field guys. They're panicking now, the Tigers. They're not used to being this close to a victory. They're panicking. There's 10 seconds left. This will be it. They're going to have a long-range shot here. Tackle 4. Hastings, drop goal from almost 40 out. He's kicked it. Tigers win. Tigers win. Tigers win for the first time this season. You cannot begrudge them for that. You cannot hold this against them at all. An absolute mess of a last set. You thought they made a complete hash of it. And it was outside the 40, so it's a 2-point. It's a 2-pointer. He was outside the 40-meter line, so it is a 2-point field goal. Maybe. I think that's what we're looking at. It's hooking wide. It's hooking wide. It just sneaks through. It was so close to missing. And he was not outside the 40, so it is just a 1 point. 21 points to 20. The Parramatta Eels have gone and screwed me this weekend like I needed more reasons to hate the Parramatta Eels. I did not need any more reasons to hate the Parramatta Eels, but they've gone and given me one. All they had to do, it was the last leg of the multi, and all they had to do was beat the bottom of the table, West Tigers, by 13 plus points. That is all they had to do. But they couldn't do that for me, could they? No, they couldn't do that for me. Absolutely unbelievable. The West Tigers are on the board for season 2022. Congratulations for them. You certainly can't hold that against them. K-Skull M says someone put $100,000 on Parramatta to win. Wow, that's a lot of money to put on. Geez, well, $100,000. What the Eels were paying like the Eels were very short priced favourites. You wouldn't have even won necessarily a whole lot out of that, would you? To make it worthwhile for that amount of risk. See, XD69, ahoy there, mate. Welcome along. I've got a my strategy with sports betting is low stakes, high reward. So I had those 2 same game multis on. Well, I had the entire weekend multi on tonight. That was the one that I needed tonight. Eels 13 plus. It was the last leg. They went and screwed me out of that one, didn't they? That was a $20 stake. It would have been like a $200+ return. The same game multi that I put on, $5 stake, $176 return. So had Mitchell Moses just found a way over the try line there at the end. And that's the way I like to do it. I like to do small stakes, high reward. I would never put $100,000 on anything to win. That is way too high a stake for a very little reward. So that's the way I like to do things. Small stake, high reward, as opposed to high stake, low reward. And anyways, that person is now $100,000 poorer. Oh, nice. Platinum Gaming. Platinum Diggers Gaming. Hello, you're from China. Very nice. I wouldn't have thought that there'd be too many NRL supporters in China, to be perfectly honest. But welcome along anyway. Absolutely incredible. That was, of course, the last leg of my multi. Done and dusted. Parramatta Eels, as if I needed more reasons to dislike them. They went ahead and gave me some, didn't they? Jeez, all they had to do was beat the bottom of the table, West Tigers, 13 plus, and they would have won me $200 tonight from a $20 bet. But nope, they could not do that for me. I can't stand this team. I make it no secret that my most hated teams in the competition are the Parramatta Eels and the Canberra Raiders. And the Parramatta Eels have done absolutely nothing at all to change my opinion of them tonight. Mitchell Moses couldn't even score a try for me, so I won the same game, multi. We have a real hate-hate relationship, myself and the Parramatta Eels. Are you a Tigers fan, K-Skull M? To be honest, I can't blame you for not picking them if that's the case. So who saw that coming? Who saw that coming? I'm a Sharks supporter. I did not tip the Sharks against the Storm the other night. I'm very glad that I didn't. I mean, you can be a supporter of a team and still tip realistically. You know, there's nothing to be ashamed about for not picking your team in a tipping contest. Absolutely nothing at all to be ashamed about. If you don't pick your team in a tipping contest in a game that they're probably expected to lose, no shame at all. But anyways, Jacob Hastings, he stepped up. He did the job. He has to get man of the match, surely. And I think he has got man of the match. Vopsy says, I ain't ever putting money against the Roosters, though. I'll tell you what, I'm never putting any money on that involves the Parramatta Eels ever again. Lesson learned. I've got a lot of rules. When it comes to betting and when it comes to tipping, I've got a lot of rules. Okay? The Warriors are very unpredictable, so I won't touch anything that involves the Warriors. I've now got a new rule after tonight that says I will not touch anything that involves the Parramatta Eels. Never again. Never again after tonight. All they had to do, well, you know the story. All they had to do was win by 13 plus against the bottom of the table team. They couldn't do that. So yeah, I won't go anywhere near a Warriors game. I'm now not ever going to go anywhere near a Parramatta Eels game. I've got some more rules. Well, I try to never bet on the Sharks in any capacity because and not just the Sharks, I just mean like Sharks in the NRL, but like other sports as well. I try not to involve the teams that I support in sports betting because you have a tendency to think more with your heart than your head in a lot of instances. So I don't include my own teams in multis, either for or against them. I try not to do that. So yeah, I've got a lot of rules that I follow with my sports betting. I don't always obey them, but obviously once you start breaking your own rules, you start shifting the balance in favor of the bookmakers. And we're all about keeping things as best as possible away from the bookmakers. Low stakes, high returns. Low stakes, high return. That's the key. Low stakes, high return. Keep it that way. You get yourself as good an advantage as you could possibly get. And look, 2 multis. We had a same game multi tonight. We had a weekend-long multi. We missed both of them by 1 leg, which is very painful, but that happens. Another weekend coming up next week. And we've already done a little bit of a run through of the games, but let me just jump back in and see what we've got coming up next week. So, round 7, Thursday night footy. Sharks, my Sharkies, and the Manly Sea Eagles. 3rd place, 6th. Thursday night, definitely going to be doing that one. Yo, Nitro Gaming says, what a game. It was intense, wasn't it? But yeah, my Sharkies against the Sea Eagles. Thursday night, definitely be on board for that one. Friday night footy, Broncos, Bulldogs. We'll try and rope Michelle in for that one. We'll get Michelle in to co-host. Friday night, Broncos, Bulldogs. Saturday, I've got my birthday party, so I'll be gone all Saturday. No games Saturday, and back for Sunday and Monday. So Sunday, looking forward to the Panthers Raiders game. No, Sunday, Knights and Eels. Knights and Eels. I'm going to have to go for the Knights. After tonight, after the Eels just went and screwed me out of my weekend-long multi here tonight, I'm going to go all in on the Knights. I want the Eels to just keep losing now. My apologies to Heel Fries. My apologies to the other Parramatta supporters that I know are subscribed to the channel. But your team does no favors when it comes to me supporting them. And yes, of course, Panthers to destroy my other hated team, Canberra Raiders. And then Monday, Dragons, Roosters, and Storm Warriors. Can you say shout out to Timmy? Can I say Timmy in the South Park Timmy voice? Timmy! Timmy! But anyways, a shout out to Timmy. I'm going to go. This has been a huge night. A massive night. I had a bad feeling at the start of the game. I can even do a clip of how awkward I felt leading into this with the last leg of my multi relying on the Parramatta Eels and the relationship that I have with the Parramatta Eels. I said it at the top of the stream. I'm very, very awkward about this. And it proved to be correct. They went and done the dirty on me, the Parramatta Eels. Anyways, if you're on Discord, if you're on Discord, I'll leave the Discord running. If you want to check out the Benji show, if you want to keep watching the broadcast, feel free to do so over there on Discord. I'll leave the screen up and running. Thank you so much for joining me for this one. I appreciate your company as always. And I will catch you Thursday night. Sharks, Manly. I will see you then. Cheers.